News now, and leaders are today expected to land in the coast for a crucial retreat in which they're expected to deliberate and agree on who will become the presidential flag bearer for NASA. The meeting is quite crucial as the country looks upon the opposition to pick a candidate who will face President Uhuru Kenyatta in the August elections. So let's now speak with our political reporter Murimi Mwangi on this issue, and he joins me from our city centre studios. Good afternoon, Murimi. Will we finally get a name at the end of this retreat?
Good afternoon, Yvonne. Well, there has been a clarification from a section of leaders from the opposition that what is happening today is just an ordinary consultative meeting between the four core principals in the National Super Alliance, and that the said retreat will happen between the 17th and 19th of this month, and ultimately perhaps by the end of April, the opposition will announce who will be their tag team to face President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto in the August general election. Yvonne.
Yeah, I mean, interesting, I guess, with all the back and forth, including pressure from the Jubilee administration as well, to just, piling pressure on what's happening within the opposition to name their candidate. Is this the same thing that's happening on the inside as well? Because we're seeing all of these newspaper reports and each member of this coalition touting themselves as the best to go it in August the 8th. So talk to us about the pressure and how they seem to be handling it, and if this will be a good thing or a bad thing in terms of the campaigns ahead of August.
Well, interesting things have been happening within the opposition. Remember, the foot soldiers of the four core principals have each been pushing for their respective party leaders to be named the overall opposition presidential candidates, from Moses Wetangula's Ford Kenya leaders to Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka and even ANC's Musalia Mudavadi's party, as well as from ODM. But of course, an interesting development within the whole discourse on who will be the opposition presidential candidate seems to have come from the technical team that had been set up to craft the winning formulas for the opposition, because the committee reportedly has been strongly pushing for a candidature of the former Prime Minister as the presidential candidate, with Kalonzo Musyoka as the running mate, so that the other two core principals will be accommodated within other powerful positions within the opposition. And there has been talk of the creation of the position of Chief Minister, what you might say is an equivalent of a Prime Minister, only that this time round perhaps this won't necessitate a referendum, but of course just some amendment of standing orders in Parliament, so that the said Chief Minister sort of becomes a designated cabinet secretary who can defend government position even within Parliament. But of course, there has been back and forth from the four core principals, with leaders from ANC speaking yesterday in Vihiga and saying that any attempt to have a candidature of Raila and Kalonzo would give the Jubilee an easy win in 2017, but which the supporters of the former Prime Minister have rubbished and argued that the former Premier has the capacity to raid even Jubilee strongholds and deny the ruling coalition the crucial 50 plus 1% of the vote, which in 2013 gave them around one win. And that is partly what the opposition has been banking on to unseat Uhuru and Ruto in the August 8th elections. Yvonne.
All right, thank you very much, Murimi Mwangi, for that. Ahead of that NASA retreat, obviously some serious strategy questions that will come up for the leaders there. Elsewhere,